Hello and good morning to all of you. Folks, today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. And today we're going to get into these Venezuelan elections. Just a brief note on that.
Soon to come to a country near you.
Yeah, soon to come, if not already. We'll get into that and what took place there and how that might be, indicative of things to come in the future here. You are right, Jim. We're also going to talk about the threat to former President Trump. They're still out there, folks. The Secret Service new director went in front of Congress and said a couple things that were a little frightening.
Maybe they have Cox cable.
I wonder. I wonder if they do. For those who know about Cox Cable, the sudden departure of the resignation of the Project 2025 leader. Why, I wonder, did that happen? James Okeefe, formerly of Project Veritas of the Okeefe Media Group, released a bombshell video yesterday. We'll get into some of that. Plus a lot of other information, folks, and videos. We're going to get into how just weird is JD Vance, to be honest with you. Jim, all that and so much more on another amazing episode of what?
Coming to you live on the Patriot Prayer Network.
You got that right. It is.
Two guys. One coup.
Wake the hell up, America. I can't get enough of that song.
Yeah, it just wakes you up, doesn't it?
Wakes you up, man. Gets you ready to fight. Right, Jim?
Fight.
Let me explain, Jim, real quick.
Speaking of fight, we have a video to show you later.
Yeah, we do. We go live on Rumble. We're live on X. We're live on Facebook. You got to set up these shows ahead of time. So the behind the scenes of it is, people, that we got to go in. We've got to put in show titles, description. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that you have to do to get the show to go live and where you post it and all that. And so, you have to put the show title and description and everywhere. So X, Facebook, Pilled, anywhere you're, watching it, Rumble, YouTube, the whole thing. And so this morning, Jim, which is funny. So the show title, you saw what I sent, right? It's election fraud and then blah, blah, blah. Ooh, Facebook didn't like that title.
Yeah, see, those keywords.
Facebook, it said Facebook, there's something wrong with the title. Facebook won't accept it, is the message I got. So
and if you put truth in there, they also don't accept that
either.
They
don't like that. And so I had to change it on Facebook to Venezuela elections. Perfectly fine. Now I'm there. So you might see the title different in a couple different locations because Facebook sure doesn't like election fraud, do they? The truth hurts. That's for sure.
And the Patriots Prayer Network is getting out there. And so I think a lot of us, personalities are getting,
we're getting shadow banned for sure.
Yep.
Without it, it's not even shadow banned. It's just banned. It's just so it's not even secretive about it anymore.
Shame on you.
Screw you for telling the truth. Good morning to everybody who is watching. Billy, Buckeye, everybody. We got Patriots Bear. There's so many people out there that are watching and commenting.
Buckeye McGrone.
Well, right on the spot.
I mean, I question her sporting teams, but other than that,
there's no question for it. And there's more people on here that would not question her choice of sporting teams. Go Buckeyes. Anyway,
I do like Ohio, just southwestern Ohio.
Yeah, you like to wear it. That's Kentucky, Jim. No, Cincinnati is there. Where's their airport at, Jim?
Well,
Kentucky.
Right.
Cincinnati's international. I think Cincinnati considers going to Wabash
Kentucky's
as international, but
cheaper land in Kentucky.
That's what are you trying to say? Speaking of that, Jim, look at that beautiful shirt and hat again. I have a new one on today, folks. Guess what? Grit Gear Apparel, folks. That's where it came from. This We the People. I wish it was a widescreen, of it, but I'm sure most people are glad it's not a widescreen of me. But that is Billy. That is absolutely an amazing hat. The fit is incredible. They're all fitted, so make sure that you pay attention to that when you order from them. But it's gritgearapparel.com and lockandloadcoffee.com. Jim, you're in the middle of doing something, not paying attention to me, but we are going to we have to run that beautiful Grit Gear footage, my friend. Let's hear from them. We'll be right back.
The sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
That is correct, folks. Remember, it's gritgearapparel.com and lockandloadcoffee.com. Use coupon code 2GUYS for 10% off of your first order. Really, folks, go there, support them. Veteran supported, family owned and operated. They do everything made to order. And so you think, well, gosh, how long is that going to take? 7 to 10 days, you get your product. That's it. You place the order, 7 to 10 days later, you get the product delivered to you. And they're amazing. The things that all the items they have on there, the hats, they've got, bracelets, they've got coffee mugs, they've got everything. This shirt
you have on is a shirt I've ordered recently. It's just it's awesome shirt.
It's super cool. Yeah, it's super cool. And of course their logo, and then of course the American flag.
And they're wonderful people. We can't forget to add that. They're just
that's the thing.
Things
they're
they
just
do.
The things they do. They're selfless people. And they're amazing patriots. And they're also proud sponsors of the Warrior Shield Foundation. Coupon code 2GUYS. Thank you, Buckeye, for that. Lockandloadcoffee.com. And of course, gritgearapparel.com. Please go there. Again, as mentioned, they are sponsors of the Warrior Shield Foundation. Jim, I'm going to play a little thing here, if you don't mind, from the Warrior Shield. If you guys could bear with us, and then we'll come back and talk about the background music a little bit on this.
Yeah, we will. Yep.
All right. Just like in Grit Gears. But listen to this, folks.
Warrior Shield Foundation is here to unite, honor, and provide support for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members. The foundation will enable them to find the help they need through direct assistance or by connecting them with our shared vision network. Using data-driven models, we provide solutions that make a long-lasting difference. We, along with our partners, are dedicated to bringing together like-minded groups and individuals who have committed to making a difference in the lives of our hardworking, everyday heroes. We bridge the gap by connecting warriors or their families with the assistance they deserve and require, such as service dogs, wheelchairs, counseling, scholarships, and team building retreats, to name a few. You can help right now to make a difference for those who have helped and protected us all. Warrior Shield Foundation, selflessly doing for those who need it most.
It's a long some way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone. Just look to your left and look to your right. You were born to fight. You gotta light 'em up.
Folks, that is warriorshield.org. Remember to go there and support them. And also don't forget about the Warrior Shield weekend coming September 6th through the 8th at the Rosen Center in Orlando, Florida, where proudly, thank you, Buckeye, we're proudly the Two Guys, One Coup crew will be there live at the event with interviews, with the insights on what's going on there. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event. The song you heard behind that was called Burn, and that is by Ryan Weaver. Absolutely a two-time Gold Star family member,
right.
Veteran himself, country music artist, who has had trouble in Nashville with the liberal Nashville folks. So, folks, remember, it's Ryan Weaver. You can go Ryan Weaver. Look him up. That song is called Burn. It's amazing. It was featured in the movie 13 Hours.
We will get some of his songs, that song, plus some of his latest ones, and we'll play it on our show just every once in a while, just like we do with Natasha's and stuff. And it's just it's patriotic. It's
killer
great
music, man.
Just,
he's a great artist.
Fantastic.
Great artist. And even better news, Jim, on August 12th, you all get to meet him. He will be here live with us to talk about the event, about his career. He'll go into his background again. So stay tuned for that on August 12th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Ryan Weaver will be here for that. But remember, go warriorshield.org. Donate, buy your tickets for the event. It's going to be an amazing time, and we are proud to be there. And Jim is laughing at what probably is some comments on there from some people, right?
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, good. We got a troll, folks. We got a troll. So those of you commenting in there, if you want to notice that the troll, what's his little handle? I can't even see it. What's it called?
Not Loz, NOTLOZ 2.
I'm zzer.com or something. What is this? Oh, it's probably one of those white dudes for Harris.
Yep. Well, remember, he's a Harris Sanders fan.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He is Harris Sanders.
Anyway,
can't wait.
No more discussing him. Let's just move on.
I'm not a troll. I like you guys. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Thank you, buddy.
We like you.
Listen, too. Yep. Last night in Atlanta, the Hose for Harris had a concert, and she drew a crowd. Drew a crowd, and they were twerking up on stage, as you should be doing for presidential candidates. And then Harris came on and spoke, and I don't have the video. I was going to play it, but she immediately got a Southern accent once she was in good old Atlanta, Georgia. She developed that Southern accent, didn't she?
Well, it's just like the the black accent that Hillary had when she was.
That's right. That's right. Or Biden, or any of them. The way they placate is incredible. But once the concert ended, about 15 minutes into the cackling of Kamala Harris, people started leaving the stands, and it got pretty empty pretty quick. So I think they were there to see the Hose for Harris. I don't remember who it was, the artist, but I think that's who they were.
Megan the Stallion, whatever.
Who knows? Hose for Harris. And then they promptly got up and said, "We can't take it."
They had this crowd that only showed up to watch the artist, not Kamala. Anyway,
and I heard the artist, and they're terrible.
Yeah, horrible.
But yet they could put up with that more than they could put up with Kamala talking. So that'll tell you a thing or two, folks out there. But that's not why we're here, is to make fun of Hose for Harris or white dudes for Harris. Oh, speaking of white dudes for Harris, that's a real thing, guys. In case you didn't know, they had a big old Zoom chat yesterday or whatever, a couple days ago. I can't remember now. And rumor had it, and it was a terrible rumor, Jim, that Mr. Joe Burrow was on that call. But I don't know how that rumor.
You are not a funny person.
It's true. Look it up. There's a rumor out there. It's probably
it the real Joe Burrow?
Is somebody probably that looked like him, Jim, with blonde hair now. He looks like a weirdo, but anyway.
Can't always be perfect.
You can't always be perfect. I don't think he was there, but there was that rumor out there, and I'm not making that up either. So, that Joe Burrow, he's the quarterback of the Bungholes, in case you guys want to know. But let's get into this right away. We want to play some videos, Jim. I know you want to get into the Olympics thing, but I want to kind of get into real quick, if you don't mind, first. The media has got their marching orders, folks. They took the marching orders. Now, the same media who bashed Kamala Harris, and the same people who bashed Kamala Harris and was the lowest rated vice president in the history of our country is now the most popular presidential candidate in there. We'll get into some of that bullshit polling, but that's what's happening here. So the media got their marching orders because they were told that, J.D. Vance, President Trump's running mate for VP, is just weird. He's just weird. That was said once in the speech by Kamala Harris, and now there is the marching orders. Keep repeating, keep telling you that J.D. Vance and President Trump are just weird. And the media is complying with it. They're not happy to do it. Here, let's watch.
Some of what he and his running mate are saying, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's where they are.
As weird and creepy as J.D. Vance.
Super weird idea from J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird. Just plain weird.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird, and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate, they're weird. Deeply and profoundly weird.
They are weird.
These Republicans just being weird, it's just weird. It's really weird.
Republican weirdness goes even deeper.
He said a lot of things that are weird, a weird style that he brings, weird policies. Let's start with the weird thing, because it is a thing.
Just plain weird.
What was weird was talking about Diet Mountain Dew. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew?
You ever seen the guy laugh? That seems very weird to me that an adult can go through 6.5 years of being in the public eye. If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior.
Weird and cultish.
These are weird people on the other side.
He kind of doubled down on his weird ideas.
I think weird is probably generous.
Simply weird. These guys are just plain weird.
Vance as weird?
As the campaign said, weird.
It really is just plain weird.
J.D. Vance, plain weird.
I mean, I don't know how else you could read it.
Weird. It is kind of weird.
We're not afraid of weird people.
The other side, they're just weird. Why are you being so weird?
Vance has done something more extreme, more weird.
No matter what kind of weird stuff they keep saying.
Trump and Vance are just weird, in addition to being dangerous to democracy.
That's the weird part that's the most engaging.
Whom he addressed as my beautiful Christians, which was super weird.
Weird tech bro, J.D. Vance.
He's a weird guy.
J.D. Vance, uneasy and sort of weird.
Frankly, for lack of a better word, that he's weird.
Sarcastic remarks that aren't even funny, and he kind of shows that he can't really deliver a one-liner.
So, Sam, weird is the word here in terms of initial impressions from Vance to the American public.
Weird.
You've seen his cabinet. President Biden's cabinet. And JD's weird.
And JD's weird. Let's get some examples. Here. This is JD's weird. Here. Remember, JD's weird. Remember. You're on mute. Yeah. But JD and Trump are weird.
Yep.
JD and Trump are weird. You were on mute again, so unmute you when these videos are going, Jim. I thought we talked about this before the show, but apparently you didn't listen again. Anyways, JD's weird. Here's another example of how weird JD is. Remember this guy that went to the White House? Remember? Invited by Biden and Harris.
One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
He's nailed.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Okay.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
Cooper.
Sorry, Miss Jen. And Jen, don't forget to have fun.
What's happening in the
Spirit fingers, Mama. We need to get shots in the arms of every single American. I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
JD's weird.
What really makes me mad,
What?
I just took those same nails off.
I know. JD's weird. JD's weird. This coming from an administration that has a transportation secretary who breastfeeds his child.
Yeah.
JD's weird. Let's hear from the transportation secretary. Good old Mayor Pete.
I'm so glad she has made freedom the theme of her campaign, because I think in so many ways that's what's at stake. And yes, women's freedom is Exhibit A after Donald Trump demolished the right to choose. But of course, men are also more free in a country where we have a president who stands up for things like access to abortion care. Men are more free.
Men are free because we have access to abortion. Men are free. That was during the White Dudes for Harris Zoom call, by the way, in case you didn't know that Zoom meeting. Mayor Pete joined in along with Joe Burrow, and they men are free because abortions. You get where we're going, right, guys? This is the administration, and they're going to keep repeating this word now. Why? Why? Because abortion didn't work. The abortion claim didn't work. The assassination didn't work.
And first of all, President Trump did not do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, they're going to say the Supreme Court did it, which he put this. The Supreme Court justices put it back to the states where it belongs.
Where it
Stop
belongs.
the argument. That's what needs to be done. That's
Sovereign nation, a nation of states, a republic, went back to the states. You don't like
California
Alabama's law, move to New York. You don't like New York's law, move to Alabama.
Yep. California wants to abort a child up to 16 years of age. They should be allowed to do that.
I mean,
hey.
Some of that incorrect. I don't know. I mean,
that I might have been stretching.
Which kid are we talking about?
By 16 years.
Is Greta Thunberg, does she count as a potential abortion candidate? I'm just asking. I'm not threatening. I'm not making threats. I'm just asking. Does she count? Because she counts. She counts. Jim, what do you want to show here real quick? You got something you want to talk about?
I know. We talked about that mockery of where they offended more than half the population, right? Well, Slovakia is boycotting the closing ceremony.
Yep.
They're not going to be a part of it because they were offended by what they saw, which I'm sorry, and when Whoopi Goldberg says, just turn it off if you don't like it. Well, no, people watch the opening ceremony because it's usually spectacular. People put these things together. It is phenomenal, but then they had to put this bull crap in there, which there was no need to put that in there.
No need.
Okay, just
other than to disenfranchise half the world population
and make it look like we have a problem, we have an issue. Well, there's children watching this, and I have a big time issue with that.
JD Vance is weird though. Remember?
So we have a couple things. We heard Joe Biden say what she just thought it was wonderful, this closing ceremonies, and we've got a lot to learn from. Well, here's what a true leader says about something like that.
Have you watched any of the Olympics?
I thought that the opening ceremony was a disgrace, actually. I thought it was a disgrace.
The mocking of the Last Supper.
I thought it was
Catholics and Christians across the globe are outraged.
I mean, they can do certain things. I thought it was terrible.
Can you say at the next Olympics, if you're present, you'll have enough influence on the organizers that we won't be, insulting Christians?
We won't be having a Last Supper as portrayed the way they portrayed it the other night. I just think, look, I'm for everybody. I'm very open-minded. You understand. You know me better than most people know me. I'm very open-minded. But I thought what they did was a disgrace.
Yeah,
it was.
It's true.
You just disenfranchised more than half the population because Muslim communities, I guarantee you, don't like that.
Correct.
And then all Christians, you've just offended.
Correct.
So, but this is a good, perfect point, because you and I were both shocked by this.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think trans were allowed in the Olympics. That must
agree.
just be the United States. This next video, folks, I just want, this is a male boxer against a female boxer.
Competing in the female category.
Yes. It's a women's event.
Yep.
Women's boxing. Now, you're not going to be able to understand. Maybe some of you might be able to understand what the guy's saying, but it's a foreign.
Mm-hmm.
You won't. But just watch what happens. Okay, just it's sick.
A la mexicana, Okeefe, que se está llevando la contienda ahora en las repeticiones, golpe de impacto. Se vio claramente de nueva cuenta el recto en combinación, hasta 5 golpes alcanzó a conectar, manejándose con el jab y otra vez en la combinación en el upper, otro golpe de impacto, le van a aplicar otra cuenta de protección. Cuidado, porque si llega una tercera ocasión es susceptible de que le detengan el pleito.
La velocidad de puños de Kelly no pudo contrarrestar lo rápido que desenfundaba tanto la izquierda como la derecha, y en la parte de este tercer episodio se estuvo comiendo en reiteradas ocasiones el jab y el recto.
Y bueno, pues aquí repasamos estos momentos de apremio para la mexicana, como observamos aquí que le estaban dejando el guante el botón y la esquina azul.
Congratulations, women.
De Algeria. El resultado, Kelly es campeona de Golden Bell Series.
Aquí está por abandono, como ya les platicábamos desde la esquina, dijeron no más castigo.
That is a guy wearing eye makeup.
Folks, I thought we were from a country that was against men beating women.
Yep, I thought so too.
That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. But that is a perfect example of where the left is completely insane. Hypocritical, and idiotic.
Yep.
That should not be allowed.
They'll sit there and scream about championing for women's rights and championing for women's rights and championing for women's rights and how the Republicans are threatening women's rights. And then their same policies, and I know this wasn't America, this wasn't American, but those same policies that are spread across Europe and everywhere too now are allowing for this to happen. Again, I didn't think this was the case in the Olympics. I really thought that was a.
Yep. You and I both.
Now we've talked about this in the past where there's potential testosterone levels compared to estrogen. I don't know that whole biological math to figure out those things, but this is absolutely incredible. That was a dude. That's all.
And there was no hiding it. Didn't even try to hide it.
Didn't even try to hide it. Well, I put on a little
bit of eye makeup, maybe.
A little bit of eye makeup. I mean, didn't even sweat. Dude wasn't even sweating.
No, because he didn't have much.
He didn't have to. Yeah. That's an embarrassment, guys. That is an absolute embarrassment. Jim, you got more, or are we?
Nope,
you want me to move on?
Yep. Congratulations to the women.
Congratulations, women, again. Welcome. I want to get into a couple things here real quick before we get into some of the other stories. But an interesting development from James Okeefe, who used to work for Project Veritas, who now has the Okeefe Media Group, dropped this bombshell video. And I would play it here, but it's a 17-minute video. So you can go out on X and watch it. You can look him up, Okeefe Media Group, James Okeefe. He's got it on there. But it's the DNC manager trashes Kamala. Quote, I don't think Kamala Harris would win, admits to making empty promises to donors. He's got this all on tape. Of course, now you'll never see this on CNN or MSNBC or any of the left-wing media, but he dropped this undercover video of DNC compliance manager Joyce Desir. Now, I say that name in jest, trashing Kamala Harris and admitting to making empty promises to donors. By the way, Joyce is a biological dude who is pretending to be a woman. But JD Vance is weird. Quote, this is what she said. Quote, I don't think Kamala Harris would win this year. Desir told the undercover OMG journalist, quote, she doesn't have any accomplishments to speak of. No shock there. Desir said, suggesting that Harris's lack of what? Go ahead.
Yeah, some accomplishments, but
from her knees. Desir said, suggesting that Harris's lack of popularity stems from her underachievement while in office. Quote, she's weirdly unpopular. I mean, many times are we going to hear this word? Per Okeefe, DeSera admits that the DNC's engagement with donors is a little more than a facade. He explains, you just put on a performance for them, a little show, right? Implying that the DNC merely tells donors what they want to hear in order to receive donations. Folks, this has been going on since the beginning of time. With all politicians, specifically, though, Democrats. They placate to bases like the LBGT alphabet group, to the Black community, to the Latino community, and to obviously suburban women who just absolutely want to run wild and have abortions, and now we won't let them. Those are the kind of things they keep saying and saying. But this she literally on video will say it. Now, would this kind of video, you think, reverse it, would get any airplay on CNN or MSNBC or NBC or CBS or ABC or anywhere else that plays you lies and lies and lies? Mm-hmm. You damn right it would. This is why I can't. The media is compliant. We know it. We're not speaking anything new. But it gets to the point where as we get closer to this election, as Facebook starts censoring conservative voices, as YouTube will eventually do here, we know. They have in the past, but they're going to catch up here pretty soon. That this kind of shit just is aggravating to death. The battles we are fighting just to protect this nation, not the voting booth is just one battle. Yeah. You can't battle this kind of. It's like trying to win a baseball game when all four umpires are absolutely just playing for the other team, right? You can't do it. So.
And that point you made on another network, just imagine if we started a white dudes for Trump.
Yep.
Just imagine the backlash that would come from that.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, it would have we would have been destroyed.
Mm-hmm. We would have been destroyed.
And it's the hypocriticalness of the other side. And and again, I know there's people out there that are going to completely disagree with us, but President Trump is for everyone. We conservatives are for everyone. Mm-hmm. Because when President Trump was president, people were still gay.
Yeah.
People were still black. People were still Asian. People were still Mexican, Spanish, whatever. I mean, they were all there themselves. And guess what? You could still be transgender.
Yeah, correct.
We just pointed out. We never, oh my God, we just didn't, because go on with your life. Leave the kids alone.
Yeah.
Get a job, support your family. Don't rely on the government, because the government does nothing but destroys things. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
And so, but we are the bad guy.
Yeah.
We're the bad guys. We're trying to get the eggs back to 99 cents a dozen. We're trying to get the milk back down to where you can afford it. We're trying to get gas back down to where you can afford it. Oh, and by the way, in the meantime, you can still buy an electric car.
Yeah, correct.
You can still buy it. We're just going to give you a choice. We're not going to force anything down your throat.
Correct.
Anyway.
Correct. Jim, the comments being made here by
I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to respond, but the one he did mention was that was from 2022, not even the Olympics.
But the point of the matter is,
it
doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a man beating a woman. That's what it is.
And it is, and the troll's okay with it. So absolutely okay with it. So yeah, of course. Trolls inundating the comments, of course, and monopolizing the comments here, folks. So
same thing they did last night. So
yeah. I mean, I like this. I'm glad she came out of under her rock, at least. So got out of my.
But see, they're allowed to say what they want to say.
Absolutely, you're free to say what you want to say.
We're not getting them out of here.
Correct.
Like if we were on if you and I would have been on that White Dudes for Harris and gave our truth about her, we would have been banned. First of all, we wouldn't have been allowed on.
This is the absolute. I'm playing this comment, if you don't mind, from Buckeye. If you don't mind, I'd rather be weird than a baby killing death cult. You asshands.
Amen.
Amen, Buckeye. Amen. Thank you. Go on.
So, let's talk about Project 2025.
Let's do this.
Finally, put a rest to this.
Oh, you think finally it'll put a rest to it?
No, it's not going to.
Of course not.
The leader who created the Project 2025 stepped down. Okay, President, and I do believe he stepped down because President Trump just kept ridiculous and abysmal is what he called the program.
Yep.
And it was.
And
I
it was.
get it. Far right, and President Trump made the comment, far right can be just as dangerous as the far left.
Correct.
It can be. Okay.
Can be.
But President Trump has never been far right. Ever.
Never.
And
in his life.
And the family themselves are socially liberal. We've talked about that. We have talked
times
about that,
and time again, my friend.
But when he referred to it as abysmal, and let me tell you, the Heritage Foundation has been getting it from MAGA supporters, from Republicans, from conservatives, because it's not. This is not good play. If you wanted to put something together like this, fine. But you knew the idiotic media and the idiotic left were going to tie this to President Trump, even though he's never once said
this is a rhino developed plan, right? You know, to and try to associate Trump with it, which they failed miserably on. So now the leader resigned. So all of a sudden, just left. We can't imagine why. Now in that, you know, there were things like less government overreach. They put in some things that were okay. I mean, I think we all want less government overreach, don't we?
Yep, exactly.
You know? So we say
some things were fine. Complete reform of the education system.
That's right.
Correct.
But they weaseled in, of course, then all the other stuff that, you know, Trump
marriage
absolutely
between a man
does
and
not
a woman.
agree with. I do think people forget how socially liberal Trump was, and in many ways still is. I mean, he said it there when in the tape that you played about with the interview with Laura Ingraham about how, you know, he's for everybody, even this troll. He's for, but they never see that. Just you know, white dudes for Harris, hoes for Harris. They're all out there. Jim,
see, we don't want to silence them.
Yeah, correct.
They want to silence us.
Correct.
Who is a danger to democracy? Who is? It's not us.
Never has been. You got to think, Jim. Remember, America first and common sense. They're all far right ideals now. So that's what it is at this point. The progressive left has taken over the Democratic Party so far. I mean, so far left and taken it over and inundated it to the point where they've put the most progressive left senator as their leading candidate for president. That's how far they've gone. That now just being for America, just being for those standards and for our Constitution and for our republic is extreme. That's it. We're extremists now, and glad to be on board with it.
Kelly, Senator Kelly out of Arizona. Everyone always says that he's more moderate. He's more middle of the road. Yet he voted with every Democrat pushed bill.
Yep. He's not moderate, as far left as all of them. Yep. Correct. He's as far left as all of them. Jim
Manchin was the one you could say it was moderate.
Yep. That's
borderline independent.
Yep.
Manchin. Well, actually, he was maybe a Republican when he realized
maybe Kristen Sinema a little bit too. You know, more left than right.
Manchin's a Republican. He just.
He's not going there for whatever reason. I don't know. You'd be more popular in West Virginia. Jim, let's hear from Grit Gear again real quick. We'll come back. We'll talk about the election fraud.
No.
In Venezuela.
You can't tell me what to do. I do not like being told what to do.
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Folks, Grit Gear Apparel, I will put it up there again. That is gritgearapparel.com. Please go to that website and support them, and also lockandloadcoffee.com. great coffee, great gear, great people. Support them. 10% off of your first order. Jim, put our thing back up. 10% off of our first order. Your first order by using coupon code 2guys. You get me all flustered, Jim, when you don't do what you're supposed to do. Yes, I know you're reading the troll and you're infatuated with this troll's buffoonery, but that's enough of that. I'm sure he'll go out, she, Zemzer, them will go out and support Grid Care because obviously you support America. You're going to support American companies, buddy.
He said Democrats are more in line with Reagan.
I know. Yeah. I know. And he said he didn't think they were a democracy to begin with. That America's an oligarchy that may slide into fascism. Yes, right now.
Well, we're heading that way.
Yeah, we're heading that way, buddy. I actually agree with you.
Because of your people that you
because of your people. That's where we're going. Jim, let's talk about these elections in Venezuela that our troll will absolutely agree with, I'm sure. Venezuelan opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez, accompanied by Maria Corina Machado, spoke at a press conference Tuesday and stated that they have the evidence they needed to prove that Edmundo was the winner of the country's long-awaited presidential elections. And I have to agree.
The exit polling, folks. Yeah. Now I get it. Exit polling cannot necessarily be
in a socialist country. It could be a little risky.
Polling had a landslide victory.
Thank you, Buckeye.
For the opposition candidate.
Yep.
And the final results, Maduro won
by a landslide.
Okay. I can understand if it was close. Exit polling.
They're saying Maduro received 2.7 million votes and Gonzalez more than 6 million. That's the landslide vote you're talking about. Well, they're not happy in Venezuela, and I can't imagine why they're not happy in Venezuela with their socialist government that the troll here wants here in America. You got, I think, some tape of the crowds, don't you?
Yeah, this is what happens, folks, when people want democracy, constitutional republic, whatever, but this is what happened, not socialism that not the socialism. Left and our troll is trying to put forth into this country.
Correct.
But this is when people have had enough.
Correct.
Now, that is not a BLM
nope.
riot. These are people who felt disenfranchised because their vote was stolen.
Yep.
They're tired of empty shelves on the grocery store shelves. They're tired of it. They're tired of not being able to feed their family. They're tired of the government taking everything from them, yet giving the people nothing, which is what is going on right now.
Yep.
But this troll is, I just, the ignorance that these people have out there. It's that this is what they want America to be. They want
just ignorant.
Here's another one. Folks, these are people protesting the result.
Look at the crowds. That's right. Those are people fed up with the regime.
Keep in mind, during these riots, we want to call them riots because they were. I mean, whether we agree with...
So what? Yeah, no, I agree.
Riots. But police were taking off their belts and joining the rioters and protesting what happened.
Correct. Because even they don't want socialism.
But our future potential president chimed in.
Yes.
You ready for this?
Oh, I am. Can't wait.
I won't be able to put it on there, but here is what she says on X.
Oh.
The United States stands with the people of Venezuela who expressed their voice in today's historic presidential election. The will of the Venezuelan people must be respected, but it wasn't. Despite the many challenges, we will continue to work towards a more democratic, prosperous, and secure future for the Venezuelan people.
Now, what did she say about January 6th? This is who we're dealing with. This bitch.
Which people is she talking about? Is she talking about the people that cheated?
Yeah, I'm sure that's who she's talking about. 6
million people who voted for the opposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I agree with her. If that because the Venezuelan people did not, that result did not take their, just like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, folks.
Correct.
Just like Georgia.
All proven
just like Arizona.
At this point. And now Arizona. Correct.
This election. Yeah, Arizona's gone.
Yeah.
There is no hope. Katie Hobbs
over 700,000 fake ballots in 2020 were
Arizona
cast
is gone.
in Arizona.
If I was President Trump, I wouldn't even waste my money, waste my time. It is gone.
Yep.
It is gone.
It is gone. It is absolutely gone. Unbelievable, really, coming potentially to a country near you. I wonder if Kamala will have the same stance if the election does not go the way it should be going.
They're going to send the troll and their minions. If President Trump wins and they stop cheating, right, and they make this a legitimate election, Trump is going to win by a landslide. We know it. Okay. And what you just saw with the burning and everything else, that is exactly what they will send their minions out to do.
Correct. Now, Wayne Allen Root, if you know who Wayne Allen Root is, and I think most people do out there know who he is, had an amazing op-ed in the Gateway Pundit about the polls and about what we're seeing out here. It says, we have been gaslighted so badly, so many times in the past few years, it's almost impossible to believe, but none has been more absurd as to what's happening right now with the fake news stories and fake polls about Kamala Harris. She was that big of an albatross, the most unpopular, unlikable vice president in modern history, was an anchor on the Democratic Party, and yes, even the Biden brand. Only a couple of weeks ago, a crowd of Democrat consultants and donors was debating who the candidate should be. A top Democrat fundraiser actually said to the crowd, Kamala as the presidential candidate would be more threatening to swing voters than a dead or comatose Joe Biden. Only a week ago, the New York Times looked at the pros and cons of every possible Biden replacement and called Kamala Harris the most unelectable. Only a week ago. The most unelectable of any possible Democrat candidate. And a quick reminder, for the past 4 years, virtually every poll showed Kamala was the only politician on earth more unpopular than her boss, Joe Biden, the lowest rated president in a century. Everyone at the top levels of Washington, D.C. agreed Kamala was thoroughly unlikable, completely incompetent, and dim-witted. That's a very bad combination. But Democrats had no other choice, right? But to replace Biden with Kamala. And then like magic, poof, the deep state hit the switch and their barking seals in the media obeyed instantly. And they all read from the same script. Kamala, suddenly overnight, out of the blue, they're all telling us that Kamala is popular, well-regarded, and get this, skyrocketing in approval ratings, skyrocketing in polls, and in some polls actually leading or tied with Trump. How is this possible? Once again, we're being gaslighted, except this time it's so fantastical, only a complete moron, fool, delusional patsy, or the troll on our site right now would accept what we are hearing. This is true. But a new Harvard Harris poll just came out, and Trump has a 52% rating. Now, keep in mind, he never went above 50 as president.
No,
he currently has a 52% rating, and yet we're saying poll after poll out there, Jim. I swear to God, BS word is right, Buckeye. What I saw a poll out there that showed the Arizona race. Now, how bullshit is this? And tell you do the math. Harris, 57% approval rating, or 57% want Harris, 47 want Trump. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that seems like it's more than 100%. Where's the extra votes coming from?
It's the new math.
Yeah, I mean, I don't consider myself a genius, but I do know math. And
Arizona's lost. Their governor is a joke.
Yeah,
and
that's why they don't need Mark Kelly. That's why it won't be Mark Kelly. Now, I'm hearing it's going to be Andy Bouchard out of Kentucky. That would be a solid pick for her. He's very popular in Kentucky, even though he's a lefty Democrat, just like the rest of them. Could be a good pick for her. We'll see. I don't think it matters. I think like Wayne said in his article here, we're being gaslit and we're being bullshitted the entire time.
We talked about this on Alexandra's show last night, which is I want to point this out, that Okay, she was a horrible vice president, worst vice president in the history of our country.
In the history of vice presidents.
Democrats and the media early on were wondering if she was bringing down President Biden with her unpopular. I believe she was getting close to the numbers of the Congress. We all know that's usually around 10.
I think so too. Yeah,
so
we know those are sometimes single
digits.
digit.
To believe now. She was this horrible vice president, never been to the border, but she was control of the border, right?
Yep, correct.
Now all of a sudden, terrible vice president, but she is going to make a great president.
She's going to make a great president. The worst vice president in the history of vice presidents, and she's going to make an absolute great president. Speaking of border czar Kamala Harris, which they are denying now that she was, by the way. It said another deadly failure of border czar Kamala Harris, grandmother killed in carjacking by illegal alien in Northern Virginia. A 54-year-old grandmother was killed in a carjacking in Northern Virginia on Sunday by a 21-year-old illegal alien getaway from El Salvador, according to reports. Melody Waldecker, that was her name, mother of 4 and grandmother to 8, is the latest American killed as a consequence of the open border policies that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were in charge of. These things are happening weekly, if not daily. I get it. There are people that are murdered by citizens. I get all that. Just look at Chicago every damn day, and the weekends are worse.
It's a good thing there's no gun violence because they have strict gun rules.
Strict gun laws. But this is the kind of result of things that shouldn't. People would be alive. The Lake and Raleighs. People would be alive today if we didn't have open borders. And the left effing knows it. And this troll knows it. And everybody out there knows it. And these are the same asswipes that will not open their doors to their homes to anybody. They will lock their doors in the evening. They will fence their yards and they will do all of that. But they will not accept the fact that it's their policies that are killing American citizens. And this poor grandmother, come on, people. Enough's enough. It's Trump or nobody. That's it. It's Trump or nobody. Buckeye, this is, I agree. I hope it's never forgotten, and it should never be forgotten. None of them should be. That's for sure. Anyways, folks, so there, that goes on to the more policies there. Jim, do you mind if we get in a little bit about you got something you want to say?
But we're talking about border. I want to play this video.
Oh yeah, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because this was from Speaker of the House Johnson. He was down at the border again. Now this wasn't.
He was dead on arrival, apparently, according to Joe Biden. So Joe Biden's threatening him.
Yeah, he was. Anyway, he was down there, and he mentioned at the very beginning. But then this guy is explaining what's going on. And folks, this is who we need to listen to, not Biden, not Harris, not this. Of course not. The people that actually work on the border.
Not AOC.
Hey, my name is John Anfinson, and I'm the Executive Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council. Thank you to Speaker Johnson and Representative Issa for coming here again to see the border once again with their own eyes, because there's no substitute for being here in person. The men and the women of the Border Patrol continue to be in this precarious position. They're stuck between their desire to do the job that they were trained to do and the White House's policies that prevent them from doing that job. The President's executive order last month is being touted as a success because the number of encounters by the Border Patrol have decreased. And that's right. Fewer people are being encountered by the Border Patrol between the ports of entry. But that's not the whole story. Because instead of crossing illegally between the ports, asylum seekers, many of whom are only seeking to abuse the system, are now primarily showing up at ports of entry and airports. So much so that customs officers in June encountered more asylum seekers than the Border Patrol did. So essentially, the only thing that's changed since the executive order went into effect is that the processing is happening in a different place. Customs officers have their own jobs to do, and many of them can't because now they are having to do the same processing that Border Patrol agents have been doing for years and continue to do. So this isn't just a Border Patrol issue now it's all of CBP. And while fewer asylum seekers between the ports does get some agents back into the field, there's still far too many of them stuck indoors processing both on the southwest border and the northern border. We still have hundreds of known gotaways every day disappearing into the country. And actually, since the executive order went into place, we're seeing an average of about 2,500 gotaways every week. And for the most part, these gotaways are people who know that they wouldn't be able to use the asylum system to enter for one reason or another. including those that have a criminal history, and know that they would get in more trouble if they're taken into custody. Assaults on agents continue because people are illegally entering knowing that this is a unique chapter along the border, and they don't know if this is their only chance to enter, knowing that all they have to do is get past that agent that's standing in their way. So some of them fight. We're grateful that there are still some in the House and Senate that are willing to come to the border again and again to see and shed some light on basically what's happening here, because even today, the issue of border security sometimes takes a backseat to some other news. But day in, day out, 24 hours a day, agents are here dealing with this. And while I'm glad that some agents are back in the field, actually doing their job, far too many are still handcuffed by the White House's policies.
Yeah, I'm putting this one up there because this will just call him out. That guy's just a sociopath that purposely tries to look like a human penis. That's the Border Patrol agent. Those are the people trying to protect us. And this is what this, who won't show his face, obviously. He doesn't have a profile picture. He's just trying to deprogram us, he says, Jim.
Deprogram. See, that's what the Dems want to do. We don't want to deprogram them. We just want them to go on with their lives like we want to go on with our lives.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
We just want to government stay out of our business.
Yeah, that's right, but not ass wipe here. But anyways, yeah, and it's those policies, but they won't admit it. I mean, he made a comment on here about the Border Patrol said that, the Texas governor's policies were too inhumane. I mean, there's just all sorts of the bull crap that is being portrayed out there while American citizens' lives are being killed by these policies. Doesn't seem to matter to the left at all. It doesn't matter. It's population control. They don't care. It's votes for them. They don't care.
He said earlier he was Canadian.
Oh, is that what he said?
So if that is in fact the case, stay there. We don't want that shit here.
Deprogram what? Why do I? Okay, again, he'll never get on here again. I don't really give a shit about him. Yeah. I'm great. You're Canadian. Stay up there, vote for Trudeau, have yourself a nice little.
That's what he.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but he was Canadian. So what? Okay, good. Now that I know that, never once again will
trying to tell us what we should do in the United States. I love that.
Correct. Never once again. So thank you for saying that. I was going to ask that. I didn't know you saw that, but I was going to say, where do you actually live? Like, what state are you in? Oh, well, none of them. So
he does like us.
Huh?
He does like
that's cool. I mean, that's cool. You can come on and comment, but I'm never going to give him the time of day again, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't listen to somebody from socialist Canada telling me, and you and what we should be doing down here with our policies. Especially since they're coming through the border up there as well. But
I mean, right now this administration is letting China, and Ukraine tell us what we're supposed to be doing. And the cartels from Mexico, they are doing that, but he doesn't know. He's not even here.
Yeah, he's not even here, eh? He's not even here, eh? So let's
watch your hockey and leave us alone.
And your curling, which I enjoy, by the way.
I do.
I actually do. I've never thought I'd enjoy curling.
Right.
That's how old I am. Anyways, getting onto this Trump assassination stuff, and they question the new leader of the Secret Service. Yeah. How much do you believe about this Iran threat prompts questions about Gunman's uncracked encryption? They still can't find out who he was. I mean, they can't find out who he was calling or communicating with. There's still no answers as to why Trump was allowed on stage. It's the same old crap, and Congress hammered him yesterday. But there's the FBI investigation, which tells you all you need to know, into the failed July 13th assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump has revived the argument over whether big tech firms should provide law enforcement with a backdoor method to break their own unbreakable encryption. Weeks before the attempt on Trump's life, the Secret Service received intelligence warning of an Iranian plot to kill former President Trump. Don't even know if that's true. Because nothing I can believe anymore from them. But while experts are skeptical of any connection between the 20-year-old would-be assassin and Iran, they haven't been able to access some of his communications 18 days later, Jim. 18, and they can't get into his encrypted messages.
They can.
Do you think this 20-year-old nobody truly was able to encrypt his messages to the point where even FBI, CIA hackers that work for the government?
We can hack into Iran. We can hack into Russia. We can hack into China. But this 20-year-old stifles them.
We can exactly
because his password's probably his dog's name or something, and that really
green siren hit that blink phone. Sure. Thank you very much, Buckeye.
Did you see him speaking to the Senate?
Agreed, Buckeye. I did see it, and there was the videos that we had were so long I couldn't play them.
He was defensive. And all Senator Hawley asked him, by the way, I really like him. I know some people on our network doesn't.
I understand.
I really like him.
Yeah, I do too.
But
for the
I
most
can
part.
tell you, he says the lead supervisory agent, the lead agent on this thing, why is he not fired?
Yep.
Why
is he
do
not
they
fired?
still have a job? Why do these people have a job? And this guy was defending, well, we're not done investigating. How can you not be done investigating?
How can you not be done investigating? And whether you are done investigating or not, how does he still have a job?
Yeah.
That's the immediate first response. You know,
he failed at the main important job that he has is to protect the leaders of our country, and he failed.
Failed at
he
it.
failed.
Completely failed at it.
So you're gone. You get fired for stuff like that.
Correct.
You get fired.
Correct. So we still don't know who the alleged shooter. I still don't even know. Listen, I believe nothing.
Like
we still don't know who he was talking to. Is the point?
The three offshore accounts, right?
Yeah.
Now that's kind of being silenced now.
Why?
Now they're going to come back and say because it wasn't true, it was made up. No, look, they want the conspiracy theories to stop. Be honest with the American people.
Be honest. Be honest with them.
Tell them, you guys, and I'm sorry, no one is going to convince me otherwise. I don't think the government hired this guy to be a shooter. I don't believe they did. However, they knew it was happening. They did nothing to stop it.
They did nothing.
They did nothing
to stop it. Whatsoever.
So that
nothing.
Me
Jim, what else you got here for today?
They wanted him killed. Yeah, real quick.
They wanted him killed. Yep. Well, can I play a real quick video? Has nothing to do with that, but I do want to play. We talked about the white dudes for Harris. We talked about the hose for Harris, and I know that's not what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. Here's a little. What do you think? We should have played this during the transgender thing because here's another one. Remember Harris. This is her stance on transgender prisoners.
When I was Attorney General, I learned that the California Department of Corrections, which was a client of mine, I didn't get to choose my clients.
Right. A client of the Attorney General.
A client of the Attorney General, of the Office of Attorney General, that they were standing in the way of surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. And there was a specific case. And when I learned about the case, I worked behind the scenes to not only make sure that transgender woman got the services she was deserving. So it wasn't only about that case. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need. And I believe it was not only, I know it was historic in California, but I believe actually it may have been one of the first, if not the first in the country, where I pushed for that policy in a Department of Corrections.
She's proud of that.
Her brown suit disgusts me. I cannot, and her voice and everything about her. I thought back in 2016 when we had to listen to Hildebeest just screech for months before the election, I almost welcome those days compared to this. I can't take her. I literally can't take her. Couldn't take her when she was in the Senate. I cannot take her as vice president. I will not accept her as president. I cannot do it. It just can't happen. But I just wanted to play that because that's the kind of policies. That's the kind of thing we're in for. She's the most liberal candidate they've ever ran.
Can you help me with this?
Probably not.
When you go to prison.
Yeah. When I go or
lose your rights to an extent.
Well, not in California.
You don't get abused. You don't get right. I get it. You get your 3 meals. You get your sleeping cots. But you shouldn't be allowed. I want to change my sex and I want you to pay for it.
Yep.
No, that should never be.
Again, that's common sense, Jim, and that's extreme. We're extreme right now.
Yeah.
That's common sense.
Yeah, I know.
We're
Common
extremists.
I do want to give you an idea of indications that what happened in Venezuela could potentially happen here.
Yes.
There's a new poll that come out, but it's not necessarily a poll. It's an electoral college forecast.
Okay.
So Nate Silvers, he's a statistician,
Mm-hmm.
pulls together polls and other data to forecast the probabilities of which a candidate will win in November, opens the new race between Trump and Harris with an aggressive prediction of a likely Trump victory. Trump is forecast to have 61.3% chance of winning, while Harris is only at 38.1% chance of winning. That means Trump has more than 3 in 5 shot at victory, while Harris has less than 2 in 5. This is terrible
Not according
news
to the mainstream media.
who are hoping switching their candidate at the top ticket would dramatically change the trajectory. For what it's worth, as Silver points out, his forecast tracks very closely with prediction markets where people literally bet real money on what they think the outcome will be. All right. So what I liked about what he did, folks, before you go anywhere, he did not have, basically when President Biden dropped out of the race, it gave him time to refresh the data.
Okay.
So Biden
before they announced Harris, or is it just
after he was done and he was gone, he let it get refreshed. So there was no Biden within the Harris and all that stuff. So he did it. Now, in the previous model, Trump was crushing Biden, who had dropped well below 30%, which is why the Democrats got rid of him.
Correct.
They're killing the man.
They're killing him.
They don't need him anymore, so now they're doing this, which is if that's not a threat to democracy, I don't know what the hell is. But anyway,
let's ask the Canadian. Go on.
Yeah, but anyway, so this model is out there. So this model now, granted, right now Kamala Harris still leans towards the popular vote. Which
that's because you got Los Angeles, New York.
Well, not to mention the fact the illegal votes that are out there. Right.
Correct.
Not, but
Maricopa County.
Now, this person, again, though, I do want to reiterate, this model does not take into account cheating. This model takes into account these polls that are out.
Speaking of election
all
fraud
over
potential.
So that takes all these polls from all over the place. So the one person here, the troll last night said she was up by 20 points.
Harris was up by 20.
He must have done a poll
in the Canadian poll.
White dudes for Harris.
White dudes for Harris.
So, anyway, so just keep this in mind. But folks, this is exactly the same thing that happened with the exit polling in Venezuela.
And
it's now 85% of polled people, including Democrats, believe that there was cheating in the 2020 election.
Yep.
Okay, because you can't hide it now. It's out there. It's been proven. It's evident. It's out there. So
cases have been won.
And I have got to tell you, folks, and we're going to stress this again: vote. Vote. The more votes we get, the more votes that get out,
the harder it is for them to justify the cheating.
It does, because you're going to tell me she's going to have over 100 million votes.
Nope.
I think President Trump's going to get there. I mean, you've seen the crowds.
I do too. There's something else I want to mention about that. Did you tell us the numbers already, Jim? Did he have the electoral numbers, or is it just?
Yeah, this is the electoral college. He has 60% chance to win, and electoral college wise, it's a landslide, right?
It's a landslide. But
he's not the only poll.
Which is kind of what Wayne Allen Root was saying in his article.
Exactly.
Was exactly that we're being gaslit. But this tweet from yesterday does anybody remember Juanita Broderick? I think we all do, of Bill Clinton fame, right? The one that, posted this. A very reliable, good friend of mine just finished poll worker training, and she texted me this. Just finished poll manager training. I passed all the classes. I want you all to know something. If you are checking in at the polls and they happen to write anything on your ballot before they give it to you, to put it in the voting machine, a letter, a check mark, a star, an R, a D, or any writing of this kind, please request a new ballot. Your ballot could be disqualified if it is written on. Please be on the lookout for this type of behavior. I think that's good advice for everybody out there. Remember, if anything is written on your ballot, somebody hands you a ballot and it's written on, request a new one. Be sure to request a new one. If anybody's listening out there, and please share this with everybody you know, request a new ballot, because if anything's written on it, it could be disqualified, which means it will be disqualified based on whoever you're voting for out there. But be on the lookout for that. And that's why, Jim, your point you have to go vote. And when you do that, you have to be diligent and watch everything that's going on out there.
With what Greg said on the last time we interviewed him.
Correct.
If you get a mail-in ballot, if you get it, and you are Republican and you're voting Republican, do not do anything with it.
Yep.
Go into the ballot. You wait. I'm sorry if you're going to have to wait 3 hours. Do it.
It's the least you could do for our freedoms and our republic.
And that ballot in. Yeah. When you get there. And they're going to tell you, no, I did not mail it. It is not an official ballot. I want to vote. So don't fall for the crap about it. And I get it. There's states, Washington, I think, and Oregon.
Yeah.
It's all 100% mail-in ballot. That's fraud beyond belief, because you can't contain mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots, there's just so many ways to cheat. But anyway.
Yep. And that's why they're doing it.
And we want to be vigilant.
So you have to be vigilant.
Go vote. Stand in line. There's going to be long lines. Just stand in there.
That's right.
It's your civic duty. Folks, this troll from Canada, I can tell you right now, you cannot convince me that the majority of the people in this country are okay with how our economy is going. You can't tell me that. They're okay with the borders being wide open and killing our civilians, bringing a fentanyl into our China, taking complete advantage of the open borders, not to mention the terrorist attack that now we're being told by Christopher Wray, if we can trust him or not, that is imminent.
But we knew that anyways.
It's imminent.
Yeah, it's not if, but when at this point.
Guess what? I'm thinking it's probably, if there is imminent. What do you think around the first week
October 15th, 16th, somewhere around there?
I think sometime around there where, we can't have an election, folks. We can't have an election.
I mean, we can't do it now.
We have to fix this.
Yep, correct. Yeah. Correct. Folks, listen, Jim, do you have anything else to add to today's show before we call it? Big news, folks. Jim and I will be back again next week. Of course, we will be out of town, but we will be together. Maybe not exactly in the same room, but we will be together. So our backdrops will be a little different because we'll be on the road tomorrow. That's what we are. Next week. But we will have both shows on Monday and Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. That is on the Patriot Prayer Network. Thaddeus, sound advice. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Thaddeus. You have to.
There was something here I want to.
Okay. I'll do it right in frame. We'll see if it gets caught. My God, out of nowhere, Henry Kissinger gets one vote. That's Rob. I know.
And then this one.
If you put your vote in for immigrants, you just lost your freedoms. Yeah, we know. Yeah. And he was joking. I figured that. But Henry Kissinger, that's funny. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Buckeye. Thank you, everybody. Even thank you, Troll, for joining in. We are now international, Jim.
I never thought of that. You're right. We are international.
You just made us international. We will be back again next week. Let's play Grit Gear one more time, Jim, and we'll come back and close out the show. I know you got a lot of work to do when you do this.
The proper thing you say, may you please play.
Jim, do you know me, right?
Grit is defined as firmness of character, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. At Grit Gear Apparel, we honor all military, police, fire, public service, and patriotic Americans, both men and women regardless of color, creed, or religion. Our brand represents the love and freedom for our country, the heroism of all our men and women, and the principles of what this wonderful country was built on. Our goal is to regenerate the sense of patriotism and to spark the American pride within us, to stand together in the toughest times and become victorious, to preserve all our freedoms, to honor our flag, and to respect the men and women who have fought and died for us to have these freedoms. Wear our brand with pride, with a sense of patriotism, and as a statement for the love of our country. Whether you're military, public official, or civilian, our brand is for you. Together we stand as Americans.
Yes, folks, that is correct. Oh, Jim, sorry, you're doing it all. Go ahead, put us back out there, Jim. I let you. You control it. You control it. I don't. Put our link. I'm going to play a couple comments here before we end the show.
Yeah, because there's some good ones in there.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I just noticed their show name. Thank you, Thaddeus. Appreciate that. This one, homegirl brought my mail in to the local Republican office and dropped it off. Good plan there as well. What is this? Oh, here we go. Billy Bass. Good show, guys. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that for sure.
Now you feel bad for giving him a hard time, don't you?
No, it's Billy. Absolutely not.
I love you, Billy.
Yep. So that, damn it, Rona, better late than never, I guess. Yep. Dawn, thank you again for joining as well. Thaddeus, everybody, homegirl, y'all are the best. Remember, guys, better late than never. I got to take that down, don't I, Jim? Yeah, I forget. There's things I got to click that happen that way. Is there any others you want to show, Jim, before we head out here?
No, we're good.
I just thank you for everybody joining in. I mean, this has been phenomenal. We look forward to seeing you all again next week on Monday. Again, same time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Time. Folks, again, remember gritgearapparel.com. Remember lockandloadcoffee.com. And then our friends at the Warrior Shield Foundation. That's warriorshield.org. Both locations, if you use coupon code 2guys at Grit Gear and Lock and Load, there you go. At Grit Gear and Lock and Load, you get 10% off of your first order with coupon code 2guys. And then the Warrior Shield Foundation, this is even better, folks. Your tickets or if there's any sponsors left at this point, but the gala tickets or your VIP tickets, if you mention the code 2guys, you get 20% off of your tickets. 20% off.
I would $60 savings at least on a VIP savings for VIP tickets.
It's amazing. That makes and that gets you to every event and gets you everything in first, front row seating and dinners and after parties, and it's going to be good times.
And possibly on our show.
And possibly on our show.
We might have you live.
Yeah, of course, we are going to talk to those participating, but also those that are just there for the event itself. We're going to grab everybody we can out there. So
and keep in mind, we're open on those days. So I mean, it could very easily, and we'll talk with Eddie, of course, and make sure we can do it. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with going 2-3 hours.
No, not at all.
Because it's going to be like a telethon. And folks, one more time, just cannot stress enough. Please donate $10.
Yeah, please do.
If you have $10, $10.
See you Buckeye Monday. Thank you.
Just donate.
If you can't go to the event, just donate and give it. Go bid on some items that are out there as well. And Grit Gear and Lock and Load are sponsors, 2 sponsors of that event as well, along with many other sponsors. We'll get into that obviously when we get there and all that too. But and of course, Ryan Weaver is going to be playing at that event with Bo Bice and exactly. And of course, Ryan again will be here on August 12th at 10:30 a.m. to join us to talk about that and everything else and his amazing career.
And check out Grit Gear, folks. Their clothing is great. These are just some of the
they're just beautiful. They're vibrant. The colors are good. The items are good. The hats, the gear, everything you got on there, they have on there. It's just pretty amazing stuff. Where do you donate? So here's a question. So that's it. So you can go to www.warriorshield.org right there on the bottom there. Homegirl, www.warriorshield.org. Donate what you can, help them out. Again, if you can go, if you can make it to Orlando, it's at the beautiful Rosen Center. You can you can get 20% off of your tickets. Whatever ticket you buy, it doesn't have to be the VIP, but whatever's left at this link. You'll be doing the event live. Yes, we will be doing whether we can do it during the concert or not because of sounding and where we're going to be located, but we will be doing live shows from that event.
And homegirl, you can donate anytime.
And anytime. You don't have to
donate,
do it now. You can go right on and donate
at any time. Right.
Yep.
And,
and don't forget to go to Grit Gear too.
Whatever. I mean, and go to Grit Gear, buy that because it goes.
Yeah, they're all they're all helping each other out here.
Yeah, and it goes towards first responders. I mean, these are great people, and we always sit here and say you judge yourself by who you surround yourself with.
Correct.
And there's some people we can't help surrounding us because they're family and they're crazy.
Well, that's right.
But we get to choose the family.
Yeah.
Friends. And we consider the people who watch this. Hey, even you, troll.
Yeah.
You are part of our family, and we appreciate everything you do, checking us out, watching us. And
supporting
we just need to get the word out. But when you look at the Ryan Weavers, when you look at the Chance Sowells, when you look at the, I don't know if we're allowed to say their names, but Rich from Grit Gear.
Yeah, Rich and Sharon.
And then the judge.
Yeah.
Judge John Wilson and Greg and Leah, JJ
and Wayne Black and
Wayne Black, all these people. That's who we surround ourselves with.
Natasha.
That is who we surround ourselves with, not the Janet Yellings or the Michael Levines or whatever you want. We surround ourselves with patriots, true patriots,
America first patriots who love the country, love this flag, love everything about it. Jim, to you, thank you again for always your participation and everything that you do for the show, which is a ton. I do appreciate that. And everybody out there listening, thank you again for your support. Share, like, follow, and share. Follow us on the Patriots Prayer on Rumble. Go to Patriots Prayer Facebook page. Follow us there. Of course, we got a 2 Guys 1 Coup Facebook page. It's 2 Guys 1 Coup, just like it's spelled down there. You can follow us on there. Check that out as well, guys. All the videos and all that stuff will be up on there as well. But
and real quick, I want to go over, folks. We're on the Patriots Prayer Network, so we want to share some things to you. And some of you, like may watch all of them. Great, thank you very much. But in case you have, check them out live or check them out later. But check them out. It's the Raising Cain Show, which is every Thursday at 9:00. The Based Mother with Elena Barbera is Tuesday at 12.
These are all
Friday at 9
Eastern
time. Sorry, these are all Eastern times at 9:00 Eastern time. Now I know Elena has been a little bit under the weather, so there hasn't been shows this week, but these are normal times.
Yep.
Alexandra 360 with Alexandra Levin, 9:00 Eastern time every Tuesday. Last night it was 7:00 because we had a special event.
And Jim was on it. Jim was on there. Check her show out.
And the Conservative Corner with Seth Eisenberg is on Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. The Patriots Prayer Podcast with Eddie Smith and Maurice, the Native Patriot. They are on Wednesdays and Monday and Wednesdays, just like we are at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. And the new show that just started is Political Badass. It is Damon Galdo, and he is on every Sunday, I believe. And I think it's noon. Sorry, Damon, if I'm getting that wrong, but I believe it's at noon every Sunday. So check them out. We're all the same. We have different ways of bringing stories to you.
And they have good guests, and we all have different. Correct.
But you know what?
We're
all Americans, and we're all patriots. And yes, you are right. Maurice is awesome.
That's right.
So
very much so. Yeah,
but
Maurice is the best.
Oh, that's not coming up. Why is that? There we go.
X.com/2 Guys 1 Coup. Thank you, Buckeye. Again, folks, we do appreciate it. Any more comments, Jim, before we're up?
Yeah.
Tell Troll to come to Rumble. Would love to chit chat with them. Agreed. Follow us, Troll. Absolutely. We'd love to have the dialogue there. That's for sure. Folks, that is all we have for today. We do appreciate everything that you that you folks do for us and support us, and remember to like, follow, and share. Jim, I think that's it for the day. Sir, have a great rest of your week, great weekend. We will see you all back here on Monday. Can you click off of that real quick, Jim, if you don't mind? Appreciate it. Is it not working?
What am I supposed to click off?
The Buckeyes comment.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot.
That's all. On. Yeah. You forgot it was still on there. I just want to play the outro. Folks, we'll see you later. Jim, see you, brother. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
The choice of